podcast.
Wait, guys, can we have a moment of witty banter real quick? All right, go.
So I said to her, I'm not gonna be able to make it to the circus tonight.
Oh shit! No.
And then I said, if I'm gonna spin your hula hoop, then you gotta give me a soda.
I hate that trade-off.
You gotta give me a soda.
I'm not even gonna cut all this. I'm just gonna delete it, but like the secure delete where you can't re.
Yeah. I'm gonna zero out the hard drives after.
Just bury this shit.
Yeah.
It was awful.
No, won't stop. The way that I keep to deliver.
SJ.
I'ma make these haters reconsider.
PPC.
I kick back,
Oh,
stay
yeah.
high up for life.
Oh, yeah.
And now I won't stop.
I won't stop, I can't stop, even if I try. I won't stop, I can't stop, even if I try. I won't stop, I can't stop, even if I try. Even if I try, even if I try. I won't stop, I can't stop anytime soon.
Welcome back to Y'all Boys Talkin', a podcast about self-improvement, friendship, and accountability, where each week we talk about not only bettering ourselves, but how we can help you better yourself by hearing us better ourselves. I mean, it's like a mind fuck. My name is Joshua G. Baptiste.
Frank Hernandez.
I'm Maximo Santana.
And I'm Steve Della Valentina.
The four of us have known each other for a hot minute, and we have developed a concept called STTT, straight to the top. Now, if I had amnesia and I forgot what that was, what would you tell me, Max?
STTT is all about defrosting your goals to get to the center of your meaty dessert called success.
But what if meaty dessert?
Ew, that's
Y'all don't have meat for dessert?
Meat pies are a thing, right? I don't know if that's a dessert, But like, if my goals were in the freezer, it's probably best to defrost it. So I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah. And it might take you a while,
True.
So it takes a while to really defrost. You might put it in the fridge for a little bit. You might let it out in the sun. We all have different ways of defrosting,
So my goals are in the middle of this ice block.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Ice block.
we're going to show you how to get straight to the center of your
Also the top.
of the top. Yeah. Straight to the center of the
center
top.
of the top.
Yeah.
All right, audience, we're trying to achieve our goals. How was y'all week, y'all?
Yo, Detective Pikachu came out, guys.
Oh,
I really want to see that movie. So I've heard.
I'm actually really excited to see that film as well.
Yeah.
I just saw it yesterday. It was dope as hell. But even doper than the movie itself, which has a lot of great fan service, and it's made for millennials of our age, and we all played Pokemon when we were jits. But it also they also give you like Pokemon cards.
What?
Which I didn't.
Shit.
Yeah, so like I scanned my ticket on my AMC A list or whatever, and then as I was walking off, the lady who was doing the thing, she's like, "Oh, do you want Pokemon cards?" And I was just like,
Kind of a dumb question is that? Of course I want Pokemon cards.
I want Pokemon cards. I didn't open it because now I'm at the age where I'm just like, this will be valuable in 15 years. Instead of like, oh, I want the cards.
I want it now.
Yeah.
But I thought it was really cool by the marketing department to really kind of like put that in there because I know it made me smile. So
That brought me back. I ain't even gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
I brought my
Seeing
whole
that.
family to see Pokemon the first movie because they had like 4 cards, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to make sure that we spread out the troops to make sure that we get as many cards as possible.
Oh yeah.
I think it's dope as hell, and like, shout out to the Pokemon company and everyone involved for making like the first like really good video game movie.
Oh damn.
You didn't enjoy Doom?
Starring Dwayne
The Rock Johnson.
Or what about World of Warcraft? I mean, come on.
Wait, that was a movie?
That was
Warcraft?
a movie. Warcraft was a movie.
I know Warcraft was a movie, but I didn't know it was like about World of Warcraft.
It's all the same to me, but yes, Warcraft. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
Hey, Doom has a special place in my heart because one, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, any piece of garbage that man puts out, I'm probably gonna watch it. I saw Baywatch.
Skyscraper.
I saw Skyscraper. But Doom was okay.
The Rock is eventually gonna like plateau into where he just starts doing movies about objects like skyscraper, keyboard,
Baseball hat.
lamps.
Yeah. Or I feel like he's just gonna get to the point where he starts the movie off just bloody and broken. They're just like, you don't even need to know he was a regular guy at any point. He's just already got blood on his face and a ripped shirt. He's like,
It's
he's
just
gonna
called
save
shaving.
people. Yeah.
It's just like check out what you are.
Yeah.
Personally, I would like to see The Rock star in a film that talks about the intricacies of males doing ballet in the Midwest in 1947.
Do you have a script ready?
Yeah, it sounds like you already did. You write something for him, Josh? You trying to get the word out?
Anyway, on that note, for our first segment, STTT of the week, let's go. Cue sound.
STTT of the week.
STTT of the week is where we take a moment to give flowers and props to someone that is exemplifying straight to the topness. And this week, STT of the week goes to Miss Valerie Castile. Why don't you clue us in on who that is, Max?
Valerie Castile has given $8,000 to a Minnesota high school to settle all student school lunch debts. And in Minnesota, you can be withheld from graduation if you have any debt, including student lunch debt. The donation given on behalf of the Philando Castile Relief Foundation alleviated the debt at Robbinsdale Cooper High School in New Hope, Minnesota. This is 3 years after the shooting death of Philando Castile, her son, and his legacy still continues to inspire others. Just in case you didn't know, Philando Castile was a 32-year-old cafeteria supervisor at a high school in Minnesota when he was fatally shot by a police officer during a traffic stop in 2016. His girlfriend and his four-year-old daughter were in the car at the time, and his girlfriend live streamed the shooting on Facebook, earning widespread attention. The officer was acquitted of all charges.
Of course.
I mean, in spite of all of that tragedy, it's pretty badass that, you know, his name and his cause is still living on.
Absolutely.
Putting it towards a good cause, putting
Yeah.
it towards helping children, taking something absolutely horrible and something very STTB and making it STTT. And I just feel like that's just kind of a good way to kind of go about life because, you know,
Yeah.
we're not guaranteed only great things in life. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's just how it works.
Facts.
Right. So after his death, they started the Philando Castile Relief Foundation. So, of course, a lot of people heard his story and started pouring money in and giving money to that foundation from all over the world. And his mother, Valerie, is making sure that money's going to good use and thinking about what her son would have done with that money and how he would have put it to use. And certainly clearing the high school debt of students that have, you know, school lunch debt is right up the alley of what Philando Castile was all about. So shout out to Valerie for keeping his legacy alive and making sure that people are still benefiting from knowing the name Philando Castile.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. Shout out to Philando Castile and his foundation for really holding it down. I'm sure there's a lot of kids that really appreciate that, and you know, eventually one day they'll be graduating and knowing that he had a hand in that. Your legacy lives on, and we proudly give you a bouquet of STTT flowers. On that note, we're gonna take a quick break. Here's a word from our sponsors. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Next time on Days of Our Reviews.
Jonah, I loved the restaurant.
Well, are you gonna do it?
Do what?
You know, write a review.
I can't, I'm afraid.
You just told me you love the restaurant.
And?
You're just gonna enjoy the meal and not let everyone know about it?
That's what Instagram is for.
That's not the way to do it.
Who are you to tell me?
This
Oh
is
my
ridiculous.
God, I can't
am
do it.
telling
This is
you as your
ridiculous.
friend
How the
to
hell
write a
can
review for a
someone say
restaurant
that?
and you're not even
Oh
listening.
my
This is
God.
ridiculous.
Avoid the drama, help the community, and write a review. Tune in next time for Days of Our Reviews. And we are back and full effect. Now is the time, ladies and gentlemen, for our main event, our challenge checkup. Cue sound. Challenge checkup! Oh man, that sound. Oh, so long ago, Max came up with this crazy idea and was like, yo, I think we should all give each other challenges for the New Year's. So over the course of this podcast, you will be hearing us achieve, fail, and work through the muck of achieving these goals. But here's the thing.
To raise the stakes a little bit, our 10-year high school reunion is coming up on June 29th, and we must complete all 12 goals, 3 each, by that time. If not, we must give a dissertation to our fellow alumni about how we failed each other and ourselves. But if we succeed, we will be showing up to this reunion in a Tesla, blasting...
Bossy.
Tesla talk.
The Bossy. I'm
into Boasty.
I'm into the Boasty.
I'm into Boasty.
Yeah.
I mean, it
That
makes
might
sense.
just be it. But there'll also be
works.
other songs about flexing that we'll make a YBT success playlist.
There you go.
Oh,
that
like
everybody
songs
can-
to flex
That
to.
actually, we're bringing this up on the podcast now, but I like it. Just that we make a success playlist. We all think of like music or whatever that kind of
Inspires
works. We
us.
throw that bad boy up on Spotify. Y'all can follow it.
Mo Bamba.
Mo Bamba.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, I'm down with
All
that.
right, cool. Well, all right, guys. I'll see you later.
Solved it.
Game over. All right, podcast over. Let's move
Yeah.
on.
Yep.
Have you guys bought your tickets yet for this thing?
We're currently waiting for a certain someone to double
Okay,
check.
listen.
I'm between.
Yeah, you said you were gonna do it.
You did say you were gonna do it.
Okay, why is
Yeah,
this
100%
hinged on me?
Because we asked you and then you said.
You know what?
Okay,
I think I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna buy the ticket and go.
But you can do it for
Okay.
free.
What's so hard about asking?
Because I actually don't know who to reach out to.
They asked you.
I don't know who that.
Reply. Hit the reply button. That's how emails work.
But I don't know the person's number. They like texted me from some number, and I mean I gotta like go through my phone and see it. But
You gotta go and
Oh
ask
no!
and look.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! You gotta ask. Oh no! That's impossible.
Oh, you should have said. You should have said that.
all right, can we
like,
can
oh,
we
no,
can we
yeah.
edit
You
this
just
whole
say you have to
section out? I
ask.
did not.
Nope. This
I didn't know what
highly
they roasted.
relevant.
This is staying in the podcast. You gotta ask.
Whatever.
No.
Let's get into it. All right, Josh, why don't you start us off? What are your challenges? My challenges are: Steve challenged me to keep a close watch on my finances. Max challenged me to make some music, bonus points if it was a banjo. And Frank Hernandez challenged me to keep a consistent workout schedule. I'll start off by saying, gentlemen,
Uh-huh.
I had a successful workout this week.
How many of them? How many?
I
workouts?
had
how many?
4
Successfully?
out of 4 workout sessions
Whoa.
this week.
Is this your first time working out 4 times in a
I am
week?
15 week Josh.
Okay.
That is my moniker.
Yeah.
I actually was really
So,
driven.
I mean, one last question. Are you a Trump supporter?
I am
now?
not a Trump supporter. For those of you that missed it last week, the guys challenged me to work out 4 times, and for every day I didn't work out, I had to donate $5 to the Donald J. Trump campaign. And I got to tell you, there was a fire in my ass that I've never felt before regarding my health and wellness. And boy, I'm going to tell you, it took me to the motherfucking top.
Nice.
It
Hey,
did.
sometimes you just need
I
a
did-
fire, man.
I did Tai Chi, I did cardio, I did legs, I was rocking it. So, and I realized that if I took the pressure off of like just being so like, all right, I gotta go to the gym, it made it a bit more feasible because I mixed up my workout sessions with more flexible fitness goals. So that was go, and I'm gonna keep it going next week.
Nice.
Same.
Nope.
stipulations? Oh.
Nope.
Good. I'm glad.
Nope, I think I'm good
I think
now.
We just needed that. We just needed to do that 1 week
I
to
just
see if we could do it.
I needed to see what it felt like to work out 4 times a week, and it was not that bad.
And to find
Got
to
it.
find what that motivation was, because you've had a tough time in the many weeks beforehand, like finding the motivation to get to it. So now you have the motivation. Now that you don't have this, what is it?
Monkey on your
Now
back.
you have this monkey on your back. What is going to push you towards doing it again and again and again and again and again?
Well, Tai Chi has really helped because it is it's a really intense workout, but because it's tied to a lot more, I feel like that's more easier for me to get into. Like my trainer, he beat the shit out of me last time, and we actually did mostly like workout stuff more than like Tai Chi stuff, but like the workout stuff is really going to help my Tai Chi. So the fact that I thought it was going to be like an escape from the gym, it is very much just as intense. But that has opened it up, and on days that like I don't necessarily want to like lift, like my wrist right now is a little sprained, so I'm glad that I have more options of like still working out. I'm at least going in for like an hour and just really getting my blood pumping and really like getting it going. So I think next week, because I'm learning more and more about Tai Chi and that realm of fitness, I think I can stick to 4 times a week.
Okay. Looking forward to episode 16.
All right. My next goal was to make some music. Last week I talked about how I was gonna have 2 beats this week. I did make 2 beats this week, but I'm not really satisfied with the second one. But I made 2 beats this week.
Oh, nice.
Damn.
So I downloaded Adobe Audition. I started doing some beatbox stuff, and I got a little flow going. But I got some stuff I want to tweak. But I made 2 beats this week. And it would be great, Frank, the next time you see Aaron, to remind him that he needs to send me. That would be great.
15-week Aaron.
Please, the next time you see him, just be like, hey, Josh said if you could send him that beat. I'm gonna mail you a stack of cards like that have my email on it, and you just leave it around the house.
I'll just slide it under his door.
Yeah, litter them across.
Once a day. But for next week, I'm gonna make a song. Now that I have the beats, I'm gonna make a song. I'm gonna finish writing the song, and ideally I'll have a song next week. I'm giving myself to have at least 1 song next week.
That's a solid amount of maxes. And for bonus maxes, do you have some banjo thrown in there as well?
I have my original banjo song, the one that I originally started working on. So that's like 1, 2, 3 songs in total.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Okay.
there's some banjo in
Okay.
there.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't think every song needs to incorporate banjo either. You know, so as long as there's a twang on that mixtape somewhere, like.
And last but not least, my finances. I wasn't too bad this week. I did have an uptick in some funds, so I did do a little splurging. Like I went out like once or twice, and then like I bought groceries a couple times. But I was very aggressive with paying myself and my savings, and I was very aggressive with paying my card. So I made like 3 credit card payments this week. Anytime I had like an extra $20, I just threw it in there, and then I kept throwing money at my savings account. So I splurged a little bit, which is not too bad. I think I wasn't awful, but I do want to get a bit more strict, and my goal right now is just really streamlining my funds, because in the next 2 months there's going to be a influx in money, and I just want to make sure that there's a nice sequence of events that make it go towards my goal of paying off debt.
You're making the habit.
Yeah, you should have a plan for that money, especially if you know about how much it's going to be. You can start planning for that money right now, and then when it actually gets here, it's just about execution.
Yes.
And not worrying about like, where does it go? Should I pay here? Did I pay enough there? You should know. It'd be great if you knew all the answers to those questions before the money was even in your account.
Yes. So my goal for this week regarding my finances is to make a streamlined plan of where my money is going to go when there's an uptick in June. So
nice.
Yeah.
Plan ahead.
Yeah, those are my
Sounds like you had a lot of.
I had a lot of
maxes.
maxes this week, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Good week.
I'll be out here, dog. You know what I mean? All right.
Hey, looks like our Josh fans are gonna be happy. This week. I like it.
Team Josh, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Great.
Yeah.
All right, Steve, what you got?
Oh boy, do I got some challenges for myself given to me from you guys?
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Can I get some explosions for my success, please?
You have to ask.
Can you make like
they're gonna be little baby explosions.
Yeah, you get a pop, get a bang.
Yeah.
like a little firecracker.
Yeah. I got some pop rocks over here.
I'll take it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fine. All right. Sorry, Steve. Go ahead.
Okay. So Frank challenged me to make music. Josh challenged me to journal, and Max has challenged me to weight less. I'll start with making music, in that I actually didn't do much of anything. I have Ableton on 2 laptops, or I have on my desktop and my laptop. I kind of looked at it.
Ooh,
like,
we got that Josh.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, this is a very pretty program. There was like a little tutorial on how to get started with the user interface and all that. I went through like step 2, and then I was like, I should probably go to sleep. And that's as far as I
Steve,
went.
this is some phase 1 Josh shit. This
I know. And on week 15, this is
yes.
It's not looking good on that aspect.
And I feel like this might be a few weeks in a row now that you've been looking at programs.
Yeah, you did the
I'm a program looker.
you did the Timbaland masterclass about 2 weeks ago. But Steve, what's going on, man?
Let's talk about why do you feel like you haven't made so much progress in 2 weeks?
Do you need to become a Trump supporter?
Oh my god! All right, that does not have to be the motivating factor.
It works.
I mean,
Podcast has just become about this
works.
now.
yeah.
I mean, it did seem to work for Josh. No, I think in my case, I might be underestimating the difficulty it is to actually pump out 2 to 5 songs within 6 weeks now. I think that's how much time we have left.
It's a ticking clock.
Yes.
So yeah, I think I underestimated the difficulty that it is to make an actual song, because I know the little bits and pieces of it, and in my mind it's just like, yeah, I could put enough pieces together and that'll be a song. What I don't realize, it's probably going to be a bad song, and I'm not going to be happy with that.
I mean, the first song I think is always going to be something you're unhappy with, the first draft, right? And that might be something that Josh is experiencing with, coming up with his songs. It might be something I see when I'm coming up with chapters for a book. Like, I think it just requires that you start and that you kind of give yourself a point where you can say, like, okay, maybe a few weeks ago I had nothing, but now I have something really bad. And that's actually a tremendous improvement over having nothing, right? You can fix something that's really bad, but you can't fix nothing,
Something
right?
that doesn't exist.
Yeah, you can't improve something that doesn't exist, right? So I think it's about like jumping in there and like just getting it going, right? Because that's step one, right?
Yeah, you got it. You can't improve on what doesn't exist.
Absolutely.
So Steve, what do we have to do to make this happen?
I'm thinking something that doesn't involve Trump.
That's fine.
I'm always down for something that doesn't involve Trump.
Yeah, I think what I can do is, if I make a song this week, I will donate to a cause that I actually support.
If
you
there's
do make a
positive
song?
reinforcement.
What's
if
up?
you do make a song,
Yeah.
All right, and
And
is that a
and-
realistic goal? Like, considering the progress you've been making, can you make a song, like finish the song, finish a whole
It
song?
doesn't have to be a long song. That's not part of my challenge.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it could be maybe not finish, but at least start, like have an actual start.
I think a draft.
A draft. Yeah.
Sounds good.
so
Yeah,
you will have
something
one
decent.
draft this week.
A working draft. Yeah, maybe 2, because at least for me, I have various ideas already of like the skeletons of the songs, or just like the drum patterns and all that. So I can lay out one, lay out the other, play around with different melodies, and apply them to each.
Okay.
Yeah, because
So, and what are you
So
gonna
I'll
do
have 2
if you get
drafts.
this draft out? What happens?
So I'll donate, let's say, because I'm trying to think of my own budget.
Yeah.
Let's say $10 for each draft to Girls Who Code.
Nice.
Oh, great.
Okay.
It's a pretty cool.
Alright.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool foundation. I support it, and so.
So if you don't make music, you're basically going to be letting down Girls Who Code, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I will be a part of the problem
Mm-hmm.
in my indifference,
Yeah.
and I don't want to be that.
Yeah.
So Steve, can we,
motivating.
if I may, can we push some accountability on you posting on your story of when you are doing this, please?
What do you mean on my story?
On your
Yeah, Steve's not much of a story poster though, so I don't know if that makes.
I mean, you can record a video and send it to us so we can post it on the Y'all Boys Talking networks and channels, so our listeners know that Steve is making progress.
Yeah.
I found it enlightening last week that I had to post a story.
Yeah, and the fact that you put 1 out of 4, I think, really helped it a lot.
Yeah.
Just an idea.
Oh,
This is your jurisdiction, Frank.
Yeah, no, I'm for it. I didn't know. I forgot we were doing that, so I'm all for it. Yeah.
Okay. What you got next?
My next challenge is not waiting, which I would guess I'd say I succeeded in terms of those little small tasks and projects that were kind of thrown out my way. I was like, I'll just get these out of the way as soon as possible, just so that they're not something to worry about later. In terms of big macro level decisions, nothing new, nothing worth waiting on. So yeah, I mean,
Cool.
It's a small little thing of a challenge. Journaling kind of got I had a good momentum starting the month, and I stopped at around, I think, 4 entries this week. So, yeah.
Okay.
And
What happened?
Celeste is here with me.
Okay.
And I've just been having a grand old time. And yeah, we've just been getting home late on Friday. This will be more of the part of my rows, but yeah, we got home like at 3 a.m. and I was just like, oh, I should probably journal. But then
All
go to
right.
sleep.
Also, calling back to last week when when Frank was in Miami and Josh was trying to blame Frank for his misgivings. We were just like, you can't really. That doesn't.
Yeah.
You know.
And then
These
on
people
top of
should
that,
be-
isn't Celeste a certified ally of Steve journaling?
She's
Yeah,
part of
yeah,
the
yeah.
Team Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
She definitely is, and this falls nothing on her whatsoever. It's just maybe in my case I need to get more comfortable with the idea of journaling when she's around or when anyone is around, because I usually try to do it like on my own, like away from everyone, and I haven't really given myself that time. Especially I think it was on Friday. I took her to my workplace, and we took the train together, and it was all great. But yeah, I just haven't given myself the space to journal.
Okay. Steve, FYI, we got 6 weeks.
Yeah. Like, this is,
Yeah.
We got
To make it all happen.
If we
All.
get
got
Max
6 weeks
to
to make it
therapy.
all happen.
If we can get
Yeah.
Max to therapy, Steve, you can.
I mean,
I
finish
believe
those
in you.
songs.
but
I believe in your consistency.
yeah.
I believe in you.
So for next
Get
week,
up.
despite being in the company of people, you are going to still find time to carve out for yourself to
Plus,
journal.
I'm gonna be in a completely different country, so that'll be
Even
yeah,
easier.
that'll be
even
fun.
easier.
So much easier.
And remember, Steve, as the warden of this challenge, I'm letting you know that it doesn't have to be a big thing. It can just be on this date, I did not feel like journaling. Maybe here's a couple reasons why. And
That's
that
the
is
journal
it.
entry right
Yeah.
there.
I just need you in there every day. That's
I
it.
gotta remember.
That's all I
I gotta
ask.
remember that, and I'll do that by journaling it.
Okay, great. Because at the end of the day, you'll look at your journal and be like, damn, you're flipping through pages like, I didn't feel like writing for like a week. Oof.
Yeah, just noting it. Just noting it
Just
itself.
noting
Yeah. I didn't
Yeah.
feel like writing. Didn't feel like writing.
Mm-hmm. I came home at 3 a.m. So I'll see you tomorrow, journal.
There
Yep,
you go.
that's it.
That's an entry.
That's an
What?
entry.
That's an
Okay.
entry.
That
All
changes
right.
everything. I'm gonna have.
Okay, that's all I'm saying. All right, Frank, what you got?
Yo. 3 challenges. My first one was from Josh to maintain a consistent meditation regimen. My second one is from Steve to try the no S diet, which is no snacks, no sweets, no seconds for 4 weeks. And my last one was from Max to speak up more at work concerning social issues. Now, y'all boys, last week, I came up with a lot of excuses for why I didn't do the things that I didn't do. And having heard last week's podcast, I don't want to ever have to be like that again. So this week, I got 7 out of 7 maxes for meditation
What? Okay.
Naturally.
every single day.
Yes.
Gave myself the 10 minutes. Didn't do it at night because, and one thing I noted was because I did it in the morning after I woke up, because towards the end of my 70 plus day like streak, I was doing it at like 10 p.m., 9 p.m., like after work when I really didn't want to do anything. So I'd be coming home from work during this week, which is a pretty tough week, and I'll get that to my thorn rose. But getting home from work, already knowing that I had already meditated, felt amazing. Felt absolutely amazing. So just getting it off as soon as possible has been fantastic. What's also been fantastic is my no S diet. 7 out of 7 max.
Yes!
Shut up. Shut up.
7
Frank,
out
you're
of 7.
redeeming us as a people.
Hey, can we get some explosions?
Yeah.
Can we get some
We
explosions?
can get some explosions for that.
Woo! Hip hop horns.
Yeah, just all the horns.
All the horns.
7 out of 7 maxes for the second time in 15 weeks. I did 7 out of 7 maxes. It was the biggest wake up call was last week. Was being told by my uncle and my mentor que Frank está gordo, and being told by them that you're fat. really kind of sticks in just a little more than that. And I'm like, I don't want to be. I'm like, nah. And being thick and worthy, like it's great. It's great.
I also think that's great. We should, if you're thick, you are
no
worthy,
body
you know?
shaming here.
That doesn't make you less worthy.
Exactly,
you know?
and it definitely brought up my spirits a bit more. But in turn of that, like I know what I'm capable of in the gym. I know what I'm capable of as far as restricting my diet. Well, not restricting my diet, as modifying my diet into something
managing your diet.
Managing my diet, even better.
Yeah.
So doing that kind of stuff to the point where, like, this is the Y'all Boys Talking is the #1 anti-Uber Eats podcast. I'd like to put that a podcast about self-improvement and anti-Uber Eats. That's a new tagline for this. But I was actually close. Last night I wanted a burger. I wanted a burger real bad. And it's a Saturday, so it fell into the sometimes. So I'm like, oh, I could play in this moral gray area of what I do or not. But then Uber Eats has changed their entire system, where it used to be like, oh, it's a flat amount, like this is your delivery fee. But I wanted to get this thing that had free delivery, so sure. But then there's also like a $2.50 service fee, and then there's tax on top of it, and then there's this and there's that, and then like delivery's free, but there's also like my $10 meal would end up costing me $18, and I was like, what the fuck? So by that injustice, I'm like, no, I'm done with this shit. I used to like Uber Eats because, like, outside of Grubhub, outside of Postmates, because they all were on top of that shit beforehand. So I'm guessing because those were older apps, and Uber Eats was new to the game, so they just wanted to get as many customers as possible. So they brought their prices down. But now that they're more established, they're just like anybody else at this point.
You're not down for an 80% markup?
I am 100% down. I'm 100% not down for an 80% markup.
Okay,
so
that
fuck
makes a lot
that
of
shit.
sense.
And I've kept and I've kept my my meals throughout the week good, and I'm excited about that. I'm gonna keep going in next week. My workouts have been fucking amazing. Inspired by Josh posting his stuff. I haven't posted any of my stuff, but I also worked out 4 times this week.
Great.
From 0 the previous week. And like it just felt good. Like I feel amazing, and let's keep this momentum going. We only have so much time left until this reunion, so it's time to hit into overdrive.
What,
and
Frank, it sounds like oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Yeah, what
it just sounds like you hit the ground running after you came back from your vacation.
Yeah, no bullshit. Like I'm tired. Like and I'll go into this for a little bit. My boss actually sat me down in a closed door meeting to be like, hey man, what's going on? And and mostly because I've had a number of sick days that I've taken off, and I have all these.
Not about your weight, right?
no. I mean, yo, if it was about that, like I'd really,
your boss sat you down.
Like I'd be done. I'd be fucking
like,
done.
Which sucks because it's in HR. So I'm like, oof, don't you have to talk to them about that?
Yeah. No, but like, yeah, she sat me down. I was like, hey, what's going on? Because I'd taken a number of sick days. I'd taken a number of vacation days that are coming up and that have passed, and. You know, it just made me really, truly evaluate, like, what the fuck I'm doing. So all that together, I'm just like, there's no more time for bullshit. Like, I had 15 weeks to fuck around, and from here on, I'm not looking to fuck around anymore.
Okay.
No nonsense, Frank.
All right.
Let's get a little more explosions on that one. Come on.
Okay. No nonsense.
No nonsense. And finally, social issues at work. Nothing really crazy happened. There was this one message that was sent during the so we have a group chat with me and my closest buddies from work, and one of the things that was sent was like these guys reviewing this movie from like the 1970s, and it's a video from the 1970s, and they were all white guys. They were all white dudes with big mustaches and
giant glasses.
And giant glasses. They all look exactly the same. Exactly what you think they look like. They look like.
I know the white guys you're talking about. Yeah.
And I wanted to put the quote like, yo, this. So they were just talking about like the content of it, but I was just like, yo, there's only 100% white guys in this, but I didn't send it. I typed it out. I put, and there's only 100% white guys, but I didn't send it.
Why is that?
Because the thing.
Well, do you think that would have been conducive to the conversation?
So this is the thing. This is what I'm always thinking about. I'm always thinking about this kind of shit. Everyone else in the group is white.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to bring it up on this podcast, because I don't know why I didn't send it. Like, I don't know what, because I like naturally that's what I want it to be, because that's what I'm focusing on here. But did I not want to be like, haha, here's the black guy talking about this stuff? Like,
yeah,
I mean, did you? what were you looking? What would you look to get out of saying that comment?
I would like to inform them of like how undiverse this is. To kind of bring.
Do you feel like the lack of diversity was affecting the discourse, the conversation that was being had in or about the video?
I don't feel like. I don't know. I feel like it could have added to it, and I just feel like a lot of shit that comes up that is bad towards minority communities is the fact that you're not thinking about it. Is the fact that
Absolutely.
you're not making note.
The lack of awareness.
The lack of awareness, exactly.
Yeah.
And there's a part of me is just like, hey, are you aware that like these are the only people that were allowed to talk about movies at this point? That all these critics just happen to be white men?
Yeah.
You know, and the Discord maybe would have been a little different if other people of color or women were allowed to have opinions of this. That this is the only one we're featuring. Like, that's where my head's at. That's my head's always at. But I stopped. But I didn't do it. So I don't think I would give myself a max for that. Because I could have and I didn't.
I think it's always tough to get people in a position of power to recognize that they are in a position of power. Yeah. Because it doesn't physically feel different, right? Like, you don't have to like Super Saiyan charge up to get white privilege, right? Like,
no, it's just
born with it.
They just think of it as normal.
Right. You know, like, it's their normal, right? So when you kind of go to somebody and say, hey, you're speaking from a position of power right here, they're like, but I didn't even charge up. Like, how can I be powerful if I didn't even charge up? Or I didn't take this power from anybody, or I didn't, do anything specifically to earn it. There's no way I can be in a position of power, right? So I think a lot of people are afraid to make those statements because they know they're going to have a conversation about that, where people are being like, that's not actually a thing because I'm not even thinking about it, so it can't be a thing. So... But then you have to kind of convince people that actually it is a thing because of these reasons, right? And when you, like, it's a losing game kind of when you have to convince somebody that they were already doing something that they say they'd never done, right? So it's not always worth it either to have that conversation, So I would say you not sending at that point I think is appropriate, just because if it wasn't really, it's great to always kind of understand the power dynamics and the lack of diversity in the place, but if it wasn't specifically affecting the discourse right there, I don't think it's a necessary time to pick that battle at the same time.
You don't have to be the Kool-Aid man of race issues.
That's not what the challenge is about.
That's not what the challenge is about. If there's a slight or an injustice or something that you feel like is encroaching on your rights, your psyche, your constitution, then but like
bust in. Yeah.
Busted, but don't be out here talking about the birds and the bees and be like, well, don't you know that the birds,
my brothers, the birds are actually a symbol.
Yeah.
Don't fall into the trap of being a hotep, but I think you're fine.
All right. And that's my 3. That's my week.
All right, bet. Maximo, 15-week Santana.
Hey, guys.
How are you doing, man?
Swell as a bird.
Tell us about your challenges.
I got 3 challenges. My first challenge was to write the first 60 pages of my great American novel given to me by Frank. Josh challenged me to see a therapist, and Steve wants me to get 3 people on the Best Lives model. Let's begin. Let's go backwards from there. So yesterday I had a second meeting with an individual who expressed interest in Best Lives, and our second meeting is always a lot of fun. What we do is we Google you, and we look at your search results, and we kind of start to do some basic search engine optimization, and we kind of design what we want your search results to look like in a year's time. So we looked this person up, and we saw all these things, and it was a pretty great actual, first 5 pages of results. But then she started telling me about all these other, newspaper articles that have been written featuring her, blog posts, guest podcast spots. And I'm like, that also needs to be on the first page. So we kind of just talked about how to bring all that stuff up in the search rankings, like interact with that, have people look at it, have people share it, make sure it's getting clicks and likes and responses from people, make sure other people are sharing it so you can get all the way up there. So that was a lot of fun, just seeing that all the stuff this person had done. And also, I think what I'm learning about Best Lives right now is how good it makes people feel about themselves.
That's great.
Wasn't something I wasn't like totally expecting. Especially if you've been like in your career for a while in your field, like it kind of forces you to like lay everything that you've done out there, and just like it might be the first time you've ever put it on a page, right? Aside from maybe your resume, but this has like everything you want on there, and you kind of get to design how people interact with that, and that's a lot of fun too. And it's also letting people, again, I think also what I'm learning is the purpose of it is to make sure people are using social media effectively, like it's working for them and social media is not working them, you know.
Facts.
So it also makes people much more conscious consumers of what they're taking in on social media, and then being a person that also has to like curate their image also gives them an idea as to like how big companies and brands are totally tailoring these messages for us to have a very specific idea of their brand as well. So it really, I think it's having a lot of the effects that I've been looking for it to have, where people are just much more like conscious consumers of media. And I think that's where everyone needs to kind of be in that space. And I'm trying to figure out a way to, now that I see that's working like this, and that's what I kind of want to see out of it, I got to figure out a way to get this more than just like a one-on-one consulting session that I can have to walk someone through this process. I need like 1,000 people to be able to get this stuff a day, ideally, you know? Like I really want everyone that uses the internet to be able to access stuff that makes them feel good and makes them conscious consumers of social media. That's
So
I guess
how
what I'm
many
trying to
people
work
do
toward.
you have on this so far?
1,
Okay. And then you need
3.
3,
Got it. Okay, great.
and I want 1,000 a day eventually.
So are you working towards increasing that number from 1 to 3?
Not actively.
Oh.
But, yeah, I do have to do some more outreach. I think that is the plan right here.
Oh, okay. So that's what you're planning on doing next week.
Yeah.
Because because after
You know what,
listening
guys?
to a couple of
And
past episodes.
I've been listening to it too, you know what?
Okay.
We might have heard the same thing where Max says, yeah, you know what? I got
Next
2 in the
week.
back right now.
Yeah, you got plenty in the back. You got the horses. You got the people. Like who else is in the back right
Yeah.
now?
Can-
Put them in the
can you-
front.
I don't know. Do you guys want to help me make it interesting?
I mean, yeah, but I just want to know, do you have a person in mind that you want to reach out
I
to?
do have people in mind, and I think this is my struggle from the beginning, and why I loved being given this specific challenge, is that I just need kind of the push, right?
Okay.
And I say that because I'm constantly looking at what I'm doing for Best Lives and being like, it's not ready yet, but like it's doing its effect, like it's doing what I want it to do, and that's great.
Yeah, and
but I
like-
just need more people.
Like what you told Steve earlier, you know, like it doesn't have to be perfect for it to
Doesn't have to be
You
perfect.
just have to do it, bro. That's what
Yes.
this podcast is about.
First drafts
All
are
right.
better than no drafts.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Boom.
Maximo
Absolutely.
Santana, circa May 12, 2019.
Yes. All right. So I will reach out to an additional person this week.
Can you do us a favor and post a picture
I
of
will
you
post-
reaching out to
Of
that
you literally
person?
reaching out, just like your
Yeah.
arm outstretched, another human being.
Yeah,
Guys,
it'll be
we're at the point right now where we need to make accountability content.
accountability content
I
is
am
king.
Accountability
Yes.
content.
I'm
Got it.
I'm 100%
So,
for
All
that.
right. I will
So, Max,
produce
Of using
some
our YBT
accountab-
for this.
Yes,
YBT.
I will produce.
Can you reach out to an additional person to give
Yes.
yourself 2 people that will be on the Best Lives model?
Absolutely. I will double my roster this week, and you will
Double?
see.
Yo, yeah, that
Yeah,
means
like from
adding
1 to
another
2.
person.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. But I'm gonna say double. It makes me feel better when I say I'm
Yeah,
doubling the
instead of just
roster.
add one more person.
100%
Double.
more people.
Yeah, 100% increase is the only
What does
goal
a
I have.
90% people look like? Okay,
No.
never mind.
They don't have
Yeah.
a foot. They're
Yeah.
missing one
Aw.
foot.
Okay.
Moving on.
So yes,
Moving
I will
on.
produce some accountability content when I reach out to this person.
Perfect.
All right.
Next challenge.
Therapy.
Uh-huh.
So when I went to see my therapist last week, didn't schedule a follow-up appointment because I was still feeling things out in terms of I made a bunch of calls to a bunch of different therapists so that I can have like one appointment with a few different people and then settle down, make a choice, and dive deep in and get like a weekly with whoever I decided. So when I told my therapist that, he's like, all right, cool. Once you decide, then we can do the weekly stuff. So we didn't have an appointment this week. And also none of the people called me back that I called the last time. So didn't do a lot there. We can definitely put a 0 max stamp.
Okay.
We've gone
So
backwards.
So what's happening next week?
what's happening next week is I'm definitely reaching out to the therapist I saw already and getting the weekly on the books for sure.
Okay.
Cool.
Yes.
And is weekly what you feel like is priority for you right now?
Yeah, I mean, in the beginning, for sure. And maybe after the first, 3 or 4 sessions, if weekly, we want to go a different route, then yeah. But I feel like in the beginning, let's try weekly.
Okay,
That's what he recommended to me. So that's what
No, yeah, that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
And your third challenge?
Third challenge is to write the first 60 pages of my great American novel. And I didn't do a lot with that.
How much is not a lot?
Define didn't do a lot.
Yeah.
Define didn't do a lot. I didn't. Oh, okay. What I did do.
Oh no! I don't like anything. Just what I did do. Oh no!
I did calendar out the specific points in the week in which I'm going to devote to writing that novel. Unfortunately, the day that I put that on the calendar was past the day that I would have done that in the week. So I just didn't get around.
So you put it on the calendar after you've already failed. That's so
Yeah. Like it was like on Tuesday, I said I'm going to do that on Monday. It's literally but
were you planning on going back in time to handle that?
No. I was
Time
planning
heist?
on
You're about to time
heist. No, I was planning on every subsequent Monday to have time set aside to do that.
So how many pages do you have so far?
Yeah.
I can double click and open right now, guys. It's in the mid-teens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you need
60.
so about like 60 pages.
Yeah, I need to like triple what I got so far and then some.
Got it.
So
what are you doing next week to make that happen?
on Monday, I'm going to my cafe. I'm bringing my laptop with me. And
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
cranking out as many pages as I can.
So
That's-
can you give us an account of how many pages you want to have next week? Something
20.
feasible for you?
20 pages.
You're gonna have 20 pages this week.
No, he's not
like
new
that's
pages.
the
He's
final
getting
page
to
count.
20.
Yeah. I'm gonna
Oh, you're
build
getting
it up.
to 20 pages.
Yeah, I
Okay,
will
got
increase
it.
the page count up to 20.
From the
week.
teens to the 20s.
Yeah, up to 20 flat, or at least that much. That amount.
Max, what happened to the whole team writing stuff? That was last week. Maximo Santana guarantee.
Yes.
You're gonna go into a cafe by yourself if you needed to. It's dangerous, but you were
Absolutely.
going to.
Dangerous, I know. Risking a lot there, but I was gonna do it anyways. Yeah. So again, I think scheduled it
I
for
did do.
a Monday, but I did it on Tuesday, and I know that's not.
Okay,
That's
so
the way to
Max,
look
we
at
need
it.
to ante up the pressure and the stakes. So
Yeah.
Start at the
aside
gates.
from accountability content,
Uh-huh.
do we need to leak nudes? Like what?
I like that. That's
Why is
always
that the first
that's
one?
Step
Yeah.
one. Step
Right. Donate Trump.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of
leak
campaign
nudes.
donation, but nudes, I don't know.
Yeah. If I don't do it, I will go on a racial tirade.
Oh no!
No,
Oh my
should
gosh.
Should I not do that?
So the first thing,
either?
let me tell you about the birds, right? The birds represent.
Are we using racism to get our goals?
We're really look, we're
not.
really against racism.
We're
Oh, no,
running
yeah,
away
true.
from racism towards our goals, is what it kind of sounds like.
So to achieve our goals, there's a threat of us doing awful things.
Yes. And I guess that's part of the
Okay,
accountability
Max?
content as well.
If you do not achieve 20 pages this week, you have to go on a racial tirade.
no.
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
not gonna
I
go
don't
to
know if that was
racial
really-
You have to live stream you going on a racial tirade.
I don't think we can hold Max really accountable for that one. I'm gonna veto this as part of the House of Y'all.
Thanks, Frank. Sounds
for
like a
that.
terrible idea.
As much as I would enjoy it, I don't think it's good. I don't think it's good content for YBT to, even in this, to put a racial tirade.
Right,
in
because
there.
at least, for
something.
donating to the Trump campaign, we know there's Trump supporters out there, all right? But
Well,
even then, they're,
look.
they're not racist supporters.
Pick a
Exactly.
cause.
They don't have to be racist supporters.
Pick a cause, bro.
Okay.
Who are you donating to?
All right, you know what? I will donate to the Philando Castile Foundation.
Oh,
Oh, that's great.
boom. There you go.
Yeah.
And this
for-
is if you don't.
Yeah, for each page under 20 that I don't hit.
You will
So let's
donate
say-
how much?
So they're better. So either way, there'll be a
Wait,
benefit.
hold on.
to-
You're
Yeah.
gonna donate if you don't make it to, or if you do?
Oh,
Because it seems.
Well, I think if you don't, you have to donate double that amount. If you do,
Oh,
you
okay.
donate the minimum amount.
Oh.
I like it. Okay, so I'll donate $5 for every page under 20, or if I so it's like at like 13, 15 right now. So $5 per page up to 20 is like, 6 pages, $30, and that's
If
if I
you
make
don't-
it. If I don't, that's doubled to 60.
$60.
Okay, and can you afford that? Is that in your budget?
That is within my budget. Yeah.
Okay, great.
That
Okay,
is
great.
fiscally responsible.
Perfect. So
And if not, I
either
can sell
way,
some
there's
Bitcoin.
success.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds
Wow.
good. Yes, that's the plan for next week.
Well, so the clock is ticking, the pot is bubbling.
Oh,
I
boy.
think we're moving into the direction of keeping each other accountable a bit more with more aggressive tactics.
Yep.
We only have so much time left.
Accountability content is king, guys.
Yes, we have about 6 weeks, so we need to pedal to the metal. I hope, listeners, you got some inspiration on all of our follies, and we're gonna keep on pushing because we want to roll up in the motherfucking Tesla, blasting bossy. On that note, we're gonna take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. Here's a word from our sponsors. We'll be right back. Attention. Are you between the ages of 18 and 34? Do you work 20 or more hours a week? Would you describe your room as not messy because you know where everything is? You may be suffering from laundry chair and may be entitled to additional seating. Don't wait. Call 1-800-CHAIR-CHAIR-CHAIR. Once again, don't wait. Call 1-800-CHAIR-CHAIR-CHAIR to see if you qualify for an additional seat in your room. Our specialists are waiting. And we are back and black in full effect. For our final segment, we have our rose, our thorn, and our bud. Cue sound.
Oh, I got my rose, I got my bud, I got my thorn. Here is the rose and the thorn and the bud of the week. I got my rose and my thorn and my bud.
Our rose, thorn, bud is a moment where we give gratitude to our week. A rose is something that happened this week that was blooming in gratitude, that you were grateful for. Your thorn is something this week that was a bit of a in your side. And your bud is something that you're looking forward to next week. Steve, why don't you start us off?
My thorn this week was an aforementioned project that I worked on, thinking it was going to be, well received, and it sort of was, but it was a graphic for my region's Smash Power Rankings this season, and yeah, I think some people were just a little ungrateful, and
Ungrateful.
were making very passive-aggressive comments saying things like, they can't wait to see these, bland and, not thematic graphics come up this season because it's,
What?
they have these expectations that we should have like funny or cool themes for
I'm recording.
the graphics, but to me they're only good for like, the first 3 times you look at it, but then these are graphics that stay up for an entire 2 months that you see like 6 times a day. And
Might I ask what their budget was for these graphics?
0.
Oh,
And-
okay.
Well,
Sounds like they got what they paid for. Okay.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
Everything's
Exactly
falling in
what you
line.
expected.
Got it.
And I did it out of the kindness of my heart, and
Uh-huh.
yeah, it was a bit of a ugh in my side. On the contrary, my rose was I was invited to this Smash tournament at this house, which I thought, okay, this seems interesting. Like I get to play with people I may or may not know. Hadn't seen any of them before, and there was a $10 entry, and the prize pot was ridiculously high. in terms of like the payout ratio, and I ended up getting last seed, so I was projected to lose like immediately, and on top of that I got a disqualification from the double elimination aspect of it, so I only had one shot to get eliminated. One opportunity. So I was kind of heated with the circumstances, and I took that heat, and I ended up winning the tournament, and I didn't lose a single time. Because it was a best of 5 with every person I played against, maybe 8, and I was undefeated.
You did not throw away your shot.
No.
And the finals was 0-6, and you have to, when you're coming from losers, you have to reset the bracket by winning the whole tournament one time, and then you have to win the whole tournament again when you're coming from losers. And Steve did that without losing one time.
Yeah, wow. I think in total my record that night I was like 24-0. In terms of games played, yeah, and I also came home with like $170, which is kind of a nice little.
You put that in your journal?
I should have, but I will. And yeah, my bud is going to Nicaragua on Friday. I'm gonna be there for about 2 weeks or so, spending my time with Celeste, her family, seeing her country, the people she's grown up with, the places that made her who she is, and I'm really, really excited to explore such a beautiful place, despite it being in such a turbulent time. And yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. A lot of cool things will happen, I'm sure.
Okay. Max, what you got?
Man, I got a thorn, I got a rose, and I got a bud. And my thorn is that my shower drain is just out of order. Is just not doing what it needs to do.
As a person who previously shared a shower with Max, you
can imagine
interesting.
This affects me.
This happens, yeah.
So and of course, without having a therapy session this week, kind of a shower is like where I go to like have my time alone and share my thoughts with myself. And people that have spent a lot of time with me know I take a decent amount of my day and spend it in the shower. So with my drain not working, I've been taking like significantly shorter showers. And then this coupled with my lack of therapy, been making it difficult for me to, I guess, find time to think to myself and organize my own thoughts. And I didn't realize that up until I, took stock of like what I actually do in the shower and what I use that time for, right? It's not just a spa for me. It's a place where I kind of organize and collect myself. So yeah, it kind of makes sense that this week's been a little stressful for me, given that I haven't had a lot of opportunity to, expend much of that stress or share those things or collect myself due to those two things not happening. Wow. My rose is I'm wrapping up this project at work that I talked about it last week. I'm just not good at it. I've been getting a lot better, number one. And I can actually see the light at the end of the tunnel. I've had a lot more people reach out and help me with this thing, which is great. So I'm actually very, very happy that it'll probably wrap itself up at some point this week. So that's definitely my rose, is to like move on to bigger and better things after this is through.
Big eats.
Yes. And my bud is my physical tracker is back. So ever since I got back from my Paris vacation, I have not updated my calendar, which is like I've been back for like a month, right? So last week I updated, or earlier this week, I updated my calendar to the current month, and I blocked out time to do all of the things I need to do. So just in this week that I've been using this calendar, I've gotten back in my workout routine. So I worked out 3 times this week, just because I've had to like go back to the physical tracker and, note my number of reps. That's how I track it. And that made me feel way more accountable to it, and I actually started doing that. So on top of that, I've noted times to actually bike ride, go to the gym, write my blog, and write for my novel as well. So, and of course, when I set up meetings for my Best Lives people, those are all on there too. So I'm trying to get myself organized, especially as we're coming through the final stretch of all of these different challenges. For me, the calendar is super important, especially at this time. It's crunch time on this podcast. If you didn't feel the pressure earlier, guys, if you didn't feel that tension, if you weren't cutting through this podcast with a knife earlier, like it's going
We
down
here.
for real. Yeah.
We here.
So now those are my thorn, my rose, my bud.
Okay, Frank, what you got?
Yo, thorn, rose, and a bud. So last Wednesday, a client asked us to roto 6 different 6-second clips.
Can you explain to the audience what a roto is?
Now, roto, if you do not know, is basically cutting something out of a video that's moving. A moving
Like frame
image
by
from a
frame.
video.
editing.
Frame by frame.
Yeah.
So this is a video game. So 6 seconds of video is 1,800 images.
Right.
And they
And
need
a
it
video
done-
game might be like 60 frames, 120 frames per second.
60
6
frames per
seconds?
second.
Gosh.
Yep.
Damn it. Yeah.
So that's 1,800 images. So it's move all the keyframes, move all the keyframes, move all the keyframes. Doing that 1,800 times, and they need it by the end of the day. We got about halfway
Gosh.
through that before we told the client, "Yo, go fuck yourself."
Is that a quote? Is that a quote?
Wow.
It wasn't exactly that, but we told them,
Can we
like,
quote you on
yeah,
that?
based on the budget and the amount of people we were able to put towards this goal. There's a much more professional way that we said it.
Okay, good.
Kind regards.
That what you're asking for us is fucking impossible, you assholes. But doing that over and over and over again, like,
God.
because it was incredibly complex images. They were going in a circle, so every time it moved, almost the entire thing had to be redone every single time. And I'm like, hey, I could be digging a ditch, but yo, that was annoying as fuck. And 100% in my side. But what made the week a lot better was, so I've been doing all these little technology things that have helped my life a little bit. Like the Google Home was one a couple weeks ago, and I got a new thing. When I came back from Miami, I was noting how bad the air really was in LA, because it's just not good. We have a lot of cars out here. The weather's been real shit, and you know, it definitely affects you in more ways than one. So I went in and I dug deep and got an air purifier.
Ooh.
And I've been using that for the past week. And yo, let me tell you, this is life changing.
Oh, wow.
Life
You know how often we breathe, y'all?
I do that
all
sometimes.
the time.
Yeah.
Like,
I do.
All
I don't
the
think
time.
I've ever done it on purpose. Like maybe when I'm sitting down.
Yeah. On a good day.
But like, yeah, we do it a lot, and the fact that I take a deep breath and everything's clear, like my allergies have been way better, my mood's significantly risen. Like it's just affected me in so many ways that I didn't realize it would have.
Wow.
That I'm really excited to have this on a longer term scale to see how it truly affects me. But over this past few weeks, I would highly recommend it. If you got like $70 to $80 to throw away and bad air in your city, throw some towards a wonderful air purifier. And my bud is, so I'm Frank No Nonsense Hernandez this week.
Ooh.
And I've been knocking out the client and stuff. I've been doing everything as I needed to be doing. And I'm getting closer and closer to working on this one project that's actually going to be for y'all boys and really for y'all listeners, that I've been kind of putting off for a minute, that will be premiering at around the time that we go to our reunion. So just stay tuned. But I'm actually going to be starting to work on that now. We won't tell you what it is yet, but it's going to be exciting. You're going to see a lot more of y'all boys, and it's going to be fun. So stay tuned.
Wait, do we know what it is, Frank?
Y'all know what it is. I'll talk it off pod, and then we'll go into that.
Do I know what it is too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I know what it is.
Does Steve? Oh,
Yeah.
Steve does know what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I know what it's not.
Wow. That's even better.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Josh.
Hi. My name is Josh, and I have a rose, a bud, and a thorn. My well, I'll start with my thorn. My thorn this week was that I ordered this book on directing, and I was really excited to get into it because I'm planning on directing a short film next month. And I paid for expedited shipping, and it's been 2 weeks.
Ooh.
Because I really wanted to read it. And then I got an editing book that came before, and I was like, well, maybe I should read that. And I was like, no, I want to learn how to, direct first. And so then, like, now I have to wait. So that's just annoying.
So right now you lack direction.
Yeah, I'm trying to learn how to give direction.
Yeah.
And I have the book as a PDF, but like, I want to like hold it, So that's annoying. My rose was that I went to a emerging leaders dinner this week. I was invited by a comrade of mine, and it was dope. Do you guys remember The Box?
Like the TV
was
channel?
the TV channel?
Yeah, it was a channel where you can call in and
That's a TV channel?
Yeah, it was all music video. It was like more
all
MTV
music videos,
than MTV
video
ever
jukebox.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can call the
video
number
jukebox.
and then you pay like $1 and
It was
then
dope.
they play. Yeah, they play a music video. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, never heard
I
of it.
met the guy that invented that.
What?
I was having dinner with them. Yeah, Louis Wolfson, and also from Wolfson campus in Miami-Dade fame. His family builds
wow.
Those
affordable
Wolfsons.
housing.
Oh,
Yeah, those
That's
Wolfsons,
actually
yeah.
a big deal.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it was
Wow.
really dope. We got a chance to chop it up with him. The meeting took a random swerve to black issues. But
My brothers, the birds, let me tell you about them.
The birds and the
But-
brothers.
it was dope to just be invited to that. They took pictures and stuff like that. It was nice. And there's an organization about connecting people that wouldn't normally connect to each other. And it was pretty cool. So that was pretty awesome that someone thought that I was an emerging leader. My bud is that there's a lot of furaha, a couple of
Knuckleheads.
nicks and knacks in the machinery of my job. That is going to cause me to work more hours. Everybody else is salary in my company, but I'm not. So whenever there's a problem, Josh is going to cover it. And I'm just like, great, more hours for me. So I'm excited to just pick up a significant amount of more hours. So
$10.
that's going to be fun.
Hours and dollars.
Hours and dollars.
All right. On that note, that is the end of Rosebud Thorn and the end of this show. We really hope that you helped yourself by hearing us help ourselves, and we wish you a amazing and productive week taking steps to the top. Bye, y'all. We got a couple shout outs that we want to give. Shout out to Gino Music for making the theme song. The song is called Won't Stop. Eddie and Lewis for making the interstitial music and giving us the good vibes. Follow along with our challenges at y'allboystalkin.com. Subscribe to us via iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and SoundCloud. Also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Y'all Boys Talkin'. New episodes every week.